Today is March 30th, 2023. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting the topic, Handling Tough Times. Success by doing your best. My main message, and this is something you ought to remember, commit it to memory, and repeat it to yourself often. When you do your best, you are a success. Many people who are engaged in a long-term pursuit of tough goals often develop a crisis of confidence, fearing that they can't live up to their own aspirations, standards, and idealized sense of self. The feeling of angst, which simply means becoming overwhelmed by stress, often occurs to students and athletes who are trying to attain high standards, often set for them by their parents and other authority figures. When a person begins to struggle to reach unrealistic standards, they develop a crisis of self-esteem, fearful that their own self-image is starting to crumble. The only remedy is to reevaluate what goals or standards are realistic given each person's unique situation. Oftentimes, a person must set new priorities as to what's most important of all the challenges they are facing. Spreading oneself too thin over too many goals is likely to prolong the crises or make it worse. Other remedies include the acceptance of the forces beyond one's control, or to give their highest and best efforts solely to their top priority goals. By doing one's best to achieve a fewer number of higher-order goals, or allow one to apply themselves with a sharper focus and effort, it is better to attain a few noble goals than to try for too many and fall short over a wide spectrum. Proposition number 1. To achieve any goal, you must supply all the required inputs. If you fail to supply all the required inputs, most likely your efforts will fail. Unless you can provide all the required inputs to a goal, then you might want to consider scale back your aspirations. Your capabilities must match your goals, or you'll become overmatched. Better to have succeeded in a few chosen areas than to fail at many. To achieve any goal, you must be capable of providing all the necessary inputs demanded of that goal. To avoid burnout, you must correctly size your aspirations to fit the resources of time and energy available. When you become aware that you are struggling to meet a higher standard of a particular goal, you must make some tough decisions. If you cannot find the wherewithal to meet these higher standards by working smarter or harder, the only recourse is to cut back in some areas of your life to make more time and energy available to expend on your higher priorities. Prioritize what you do, focus on what's most important, and eliminate everything else. Proposition 2. Make a commitment to do all you can by working above your ability. Set aside distractions, social media such as TikTok, until you overcome your challenges. Go all in. Step up your efforts, bear down, and work at warp speed. Your own personal mental toughness and the will to succeed can elevate and sustain higher performance. Once you know you're in trouble, over your head and in the demands of your goal, you must schedule more time to meet the challenge. Full engagement to a noble goal can make a big difference. Eliminate all distractions to free up extra time to devote to working harder on the goals that are most important. Give your challenges all you've got, and then a little more. Anyone can hold out just a little longer, knowing that there's an eventual expiration to one's suffering. Consider the pride that you will have knowing that you faced up to a challenge, did your best, and defeated it. Most people can do much more than they think they can, when they don't give themselves an excuse to slack off and fail. Don't give yourself the choice of quitting before you've done your best. The worst regret is not doing all you know you could have done to get the results you were seeking. Proposition 3. Work on your inner world as you work in your outer world. Shift your focus from expectations, which is a focus on outcomes, to your noble intentions, which is your inputs. Commit to continually doing the next right thing, and that most people know what the next right thing is, until you reach the finish line. Intend to do your best to reach success, but be willing to accept the results you get. Most people don't fully tap the power of their inner resources, such as the following: thought control, a positive mental attitude, intention and commitment, and visualization of success. Besides working harder and smarter in your physical world, you must also work to relieve the stress that builds up in the meantime by working on your self-confidence and motivation in your inner world. Since you can control your inner world, you can control your emotions by emphasizing positivity in both thought and deed. By keeping your inner world in a positive mode, you can keep your emotions upbeat, optimistic, positive. Remind yourself why your goals are important so you never lose your sense of purpose and motivation. Continue to repeat positive affirmations, and let me give you a few. I can handle this workload, and I will. If it's to be, it's up to me. When I do my best, I am a success. My final message: success is doing all you can to get what you want. Everyone gets to a point of ants, in other words, another word for too much stress, on occasion when it seems like the challenges of the physical world is simply demanding too much of them. Just remember, this too shall pass. As you work your way through tough times, you must remind yourself that you too can be tough. As you bear down to meet the challenges of your situation, as you continue to do your best, never forget that when you've done your best, you are a success. Since you can only control what you can control, you must accept that some situations were just not meant to be. Accept the reality of your situation and take solace in knowing that you did do your best. Often, when you've done your best, everything will often turn out for the best as well. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.